It's Paul Marsh, and I'm delighted to say that I've been joined by Thomas Ian Nicholas. Thomas, how are you, sir?
I'm good, Paul. How are you, man?
Very, very good, thank you. It's nice to talk to you. So, for those who might not know you, maybe from music, maybe they know you from film, how did music become such a big part of your life? And was it always there in the background with the acting as well?
I mean, they've been hand in hand for a long time now. I've been touring in England since 2012, and I mean, since that time, I've at least done 300 shows there. And that's a big portion of my total international touring. So I've done maybe like 1,400 shows, and like I said, 300 of those are in England alone. So they've been hand in hand since probably the mid 90s. That's when I've been doing both. So a lot of people are like, "Oh, you quit acting and you're just doing music." I'm like, "No, I'm still doing both." I got a TV show on Amazon and a film that you can't see in England with Mickey Rourke, and some new stuff coming up this year. But I love them both for very different reasons.
Do you feel blessed that you get to do both at the same time?
Oh, dude, I feel like the luckiest guy in the world that I get to like call music and acting my job. So I get to play for a living and somehow raise two children, you know?
So there's the real job. Okay.
Hey, now my son is he's playing drums in my band when he's available. He's
Oh, wow.
14. Yeah,
Wow.
it's awesome. We just did a show in done a couple of shows just in California. We opened up for the Dolly Rots last July at the House of Blues, and we were just on tour with Not Green Day. And so we played a show at the Garden Amphitheater in Anaheim. Like, well, basically both of them are in Anaheim.
Do you know what? It's funny. So my 8-year-old in the last 6 months has just started learning drums himself.
That's awesome, dude. There is nothing like jamming with your kids. So my daughter plays as well. She's 9. So I have a video of the three of us playing STP. My son's on bass, I'm on guitar, my daughter's on drums. She plays drums as well. So
Has it changed as you've got older? I found that, when I first started out in radio and everything, you want to take over the world, you want to be on all the big stations and all of that. And then the older you get, I think your goals in life change. And I think if you can earn enough money to do what you love doing, that's all you need, right?
for me, I think there's always a desire to accomplish more, but I think that desire exists in us all. And no matter what we accomplish, we're always going to want a little bit more. And that's okay. I've learned to enjoy the portion in between because you always live in between. So it's not necessarily about like, I don't ever get to a satisfying moment where I'm like, oh, it's just enough, because you still have to like have that drive and motivation to get just another step forward. But like I said, I love the journey. I call that the journey, because I mean, really, what are we racing toward the end? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Because life is for the living.
So let's get back to the band. When people, if they haven't already, like you say, I know you've done a lot of gigs in the UK already. If they haven't seen the band live, what kind of show are they getting?
Well, I mean, like I said, I was at 1865 with Wheatus in December. I was acoustic, supporting them on tour. The thing that I hear about my shows, um, and this I guess is just an offshoot of me per se, is that there's just a hit of nostalgia. So, like, if I had to say you're going to get anything from my show, it's that dopamine hit of nostalgia.
I like it. I like it. Well, I do wonder, obviously, you go from the full band to the solo acoustic stuff. And I'm not sure if you do this or not, but obviously, with everything that you've done in your life, I would imagine that you're a fantastic storyteller. And I love, again, as I get a little bit older, I go and see some of the solo shows from guys who are the lead singer of bands. And they do this thing where they're like, they'll tell a story for 5 minutes and then they'll play the song about it, and then they'll tell another story and then they'll play another song. That would be perfect for you.
I take a school of thought out of Bowling for Soup, and I think that once I became friends with Jarrett Reddick, the lead singer, and guested with them and opened for them, I learned a lot about infusing the two, because Jarrett has no problem like talking with the full band there. And so it used to be a little bit different, where I would maybe like talk a little bit more for the acoustic solo shows. But honestly, I mean, and really funny enough, when I was at the 1865, a lot of times I'll like throw up a content video of like, here's the stage selfie, like here's, the this portion of this song or this moment. But there was a dude named Peter in the front row. He was Hungarian, and I remember a little of Hungarian from when I filmed a movie there back in the mid 90s. So we just started like having a conversation. I'm swearing at him, saying foul things in Hungarian. He's laughing and thanking me. And that's the video that's up from my show with Wheatus. So 1865 will always have this like awesome initial memory for me of swearing in Hungarian at Peter.
Well, I guess that's the one thing you maybe didn't expect to get from one of your gigs, and you're going to take something new away from everything, and learning how to swear in Hungarian is that extra thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, what better way, learning how to swear in Hungarian and also helping, Kate Winslet and Daniel Craig 007 get their start.
Oh, okay. Go on. You got to expand on that.
Well, that was the film I shot. We were staying in Buda and filming in Pest. So we were in Budapest.
Which is
it was
lovely. I've been there, by the way.
Yeah. It's funny because I was just touring in Germany and Austria. And I guess I forgot like how far the Danube goes. So we were in Austria and like staying at this house or this like hotel right on the Danube. So like one morning we had breakfast on the Danube. It was
wow,
absolutely gorgeous. Of course, we had no idea where we were because it's like when you're on tour driving around 5 hours this day on the Autobahn. So the content video there is I flashed up to my best friend, Matt. I go, "Hey man, where are we?" He's like, "I don't know." But yeah, so we shot in Budapest. I shot A Kid in King Arthur's Court there. And that was, of course, Kate Winslet's second film and Daniel Craig 007's first movie.
Wow. So what we like to say is if it wasn't for you, they wouldn't have the careers they have now.
You're welcome.
I like it. I like that. You mentioned earlier, obviously, you have been playing in the UK for quite some time. Do you still get a lot of people, or I would say probably the vast majority of people that come to see you for the music? Do you still get a lot of people come to see you curious because it's that guy from American Pie?
Yes and no. I mean, every night is different, and there's always, a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
There's people that are curious. There's people that don't know what's going on, and then they get there and they put two and two together. There's people that are just coming for the music. So it's an amuse-bouche of all of those things. And I welcome it all. I mean, again, I'm very grateful that I get to do what I love for a living. And I embrace it all and welcome it all.
Has your relationship with American Pie, has it changed over the years? Because I know that, it's like a lot of bands that have that one big hit, and then after a while you go, I'm not playing that anymore. I'm bored of playing that. I'm not going to play that. And then later in their career, you kind of learn to love it again. Have you gone through that relationship?
The only time, so I'm currently more like Bowling for Soup and Wheatus, where I embrace my quote unquote hit song, which is American Pie. I have, and thanks to England, I have the Frat Party album, which is me covering all of my favorite songs from the soundtrack albums. And that happened from tours that I was doing for Freshers Week back in 2015 and 16.
Wow.
And so, it's one of those things where I definitely embrace it. The only time period that I didn't was when like I did that last film with Mickey Rourke. It was released by Lionsgate, and it was a very serious movie. So Lionsgate sort of implored me to not be in my nostalgia zone during the press of that film. And the irony of this is that I turned down a podcast interview with Jarrett Reddick of Bowling for Soup. We hadn't met because I was trying to follow the rules of Lionsgate. So this is back in like 2021. And all that Jarrett heard was, I didn't want to talk about American Pie. I had said, I'm just not talking about it right now for this campaign, but I'll come out on the other side.
Yeah. Yeah.
But all he heard was, that dude doesn't want to talk about American Pie. And so then he went on and did his podcast and made fun of me. And now we're really good friends.
Do you know what? I've found that I've had that over the years, like miscommunication, some things happen, lost in translation, and you and somebody else have butted heads together. And then years later, you find out we're actually really, really similar and we get on really well.
Yeah, it was 6 months later, I got a gig doing like a live podcast at a venue. And the venue owner was like, oh, my friend does a podcast. And it was Jarrett, because I was in Texas. And so Jarrett's like, oh, he doesn't want to do that. So then we ended up talking. As soon as we talked on the phone and he heard the right message, we hit it off right away. I did his other podcast. And like I said, we've been friends ever since. And because of that night, that's why I did the parody of 1985 called 1999.
Yes. Yeah.
So it all came together, all stemming from a miscommunication.
It's funny how things are meant to work out like that. And you talk about nostalgia, and obviously nostalgia is a huge thing. I don't know if this has always been the way, or because of social media and podcasts and everything else. The 90s, the late 90s, now going into the 2000s, are huge again. Podcasts, reunions, Comic-Cons, all that kind of stuff. I saw a reel with Shannon Elizabeth literally this morning talking about the fact that she can't believe the part she played in American Pie and how she's nothing like that. Again, those types of, everybody getting back together and rehashing the old days. Is that something you embrace, or you happy sort of doing your own thing?
No, I definitely embrace it. I mean, on this tour, I've got 2 nights as well that I'm running a pub quiz called American Pie Trivia. So I built this thing for my tours in Australia, and it sort of took off there. By the time I did it the 4th time, because I did 4 tours in Australia in 11 months. The 3rd one was with Zebrahead. The 4th one was with Wheatus. By the time I did the 4th American Pie Trivia, we had 400 people there and 200 people on the wait list. So I'm doing one in Birmingham on March 29th, and then I'm doing one in Cambridge on April 4th. And this trivia is awesome because it dips into all of that. And, I know how much everybody loves a good pub quiz in England. I've been at a few myself.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we really take them seriously as well.
Oh, yeah. No, this one is no joke. And I would love to see if they beat out, because at that last one I did in Australia, they got pretty close to like 100%.
Wow.
Which is the closest I've seen. It was 41 out of 45 total score was the top score.
Wow.
And that's the best I've seen, because no one had broke 40 yet. So there's some tough bonus questions at the end. So I challenge you. I challenge the Brits to come and see who can actually, because I'll retire this thing the day someone gets 45 out of 45. I'll be like, all right, it's done. Someone beat me.
Let's get back to the music. Like I say, obviously everything is going really well. The tour is going to be amazing. We know that. What's the plan? What's next? Is it just keep touring, just keep having fun, just keep releasing music?
Yeah, I'm working on the 8th album. The 7th album was produced by Taylor Carroll, the drummer from Lit. And so he's producing the 8th album. We've got some really amazing features planned for this one. I'm really excited. I mean, we already had amazing features on the last one. We had Bowling for Soup and Less Than Jake in the early November. There's some amazing ones. I can't talk about them yet because obviously I need to get them and get the records sorted. But yeah, I'm super stoked on this. I've got some big tours coming up, getting to open for First Switchfoot and Lit and Fuel in the States. I'm doing some more shows with Bowling for Soup. Obviously, I did the Wheatus run. I've got some films that are lined up. I'm going to be shooting a horror film this June in Los Angeles, and I might be shooting something in Australia. I don't know. There's some there's always talks of things, and I've got my schedule check from Netflix on something else that's huge. I can't talk about a lot of stuff because there's not much. There's just a lot of things that are happening in 2026. and I'm just doing my best to like navigate it all. But my favorite thing is my son jamming in my shows. I'm taking him to Vegas. We're doing a WrestleMania kickoff party with Jarrett Reddick. And Jarrett hasn't met my kids yet. So this will be the first time they get to meet. And then, my son's going to rip a set on drums.
Isn't it really, really nice where you get to that stage in life where your children become your friends and they get to do all of that type of stuff with you as well?
Yeah, it's the best. It's the best. Like, especially considering how much I'm touring right now.
Yeah.
Last year I did 107 shows. The year before was 115. So if I could eliminate the time away from my kids by just having them be in my band, I would be the happiest dude on earth.
Yeah. Well, look, Thomas, I've taken up more than enough of your time. Thank you so much for talking to me. I really, really do appreciate it. I know that the UK tour is going to be amazing. You're coming down the south. You're coming to the 1865 in Southampton on the 1st of April. Grab your tickets now before it sells out. Enjoy your time in the UK and enjoy the show.
Yeah. Come get your hit of nostalgia at the 1865. That's not an April Fool's joke. It just happens to be on April 1st.